All right, welcome back to my channel, The Ascension Guide. I'm your guide, Joe Martin. So today's message, it's about finding your joy. Um, for some of you, this is very simple. You already know what your joy or your passion is, what lights you up, makes you happy, and that's awesome. Like that's what we're looking for, is more people to vibrate in that frequency. Um, but there's kind of a lot to it that maybe people don't really think about sometimes. Um, in this 3D realm, we get very caught up in obligations, which is understandable. I mean, we have to pay the bills. We have obligations. It is what it is. But I think there's some obligations that we feel like we have to deal with and are a burden to us, regardless of, the situation. Um, so like what I'm talking about is maybe like a family member or somebody who, doesn't resonate with your vibration. It's okay to let those people go. Like, I think that's one of the lessons here on earth that we have to learn is we put so much importance on this bloodline and family that we're kind of connected to through this earthly realm. But yet, if they don't vibe with you and they're not a part of, where you're trying to go and what level you're trying to be on, are they there to help you or are they hindering you? And I feel like we get caught up sometimes in, well, this is my family, so I can't do this or I can't do that. I couldn't abandon them or I couldn't, not talk to them or whatever it is. And it's like, you know, I think one of the lessons is to learn to vibrate with the people that you vibrate with. And if they don't vibrate with you, they're gonna, fall away in some way. Or they're gonna bring you down to where they are, which is not good either. So letting go of things, that keep you in that low vibration or, that you feel obligated to, that you don't feel joy when you, partake in. And, this could be jobs or, lots of different situations also, but obviously as of right now, we all have our obligations until, we figure out what our joy is that can pay the bills also. But I think a lot of you may have an idea, of what your joy is. And, one thing they told me is there's, humans as a, species are a very creative species. And most people have had that repressed in some way. And, I'm not an artist. I'm not a musician. I can't do that. I can't do this. And you can see how just saying those words, a couple of times, your subconscious is going to believe it. And then you're no longer a creative being. So it's time to, even if something's been calling to you just, a little bit, like, oh, maybe I want to try painting or drawing, or I want to pick up the guitar or the piano, or whatever it is. If you've had an inkling to do it, it's time. It's time to find your joy. It's time to, stop thinking that you can't, because, it's my own personal journey. Like, I played guitar for over 20 years, whatever. But I just started playing piano, and I shouldn't be as good as I am, but I just I don't think about it. I just let it go through me. And I think when people start to get past the thinking part and the whole process, like they explained it to me, when you're thinking about playing music, you're one step removed from it, what's happening, what the process is. So, it's just letting it flow through you. Same thing with, art or painting or, whatever it is, your creativity just flows through you. Sometimes it's just as simple as putting, the brush on the canvas and just let it, take you wherever it's going to take you. And I think a lot of you would be surprised what's inside of you that's waiting to come out, if you allow it. And, just suspend your disbelief for a little bit. Just, believe that you're an artist, believe that it's within you, and just start to draw or just start to play or whatever it is. And, I think you'll surprise yourself. But, going back to this kind of the overall theme, finding your joy, and it's finding that vibration that keeps you high, keeps you in that high vibratory state for this ascension process, that keeps you in that fifth dimension, or gets you to that fifth dimension if you haven't been there yet. Some people are, well, if you're watching this, you're probably at least in the fourth. You're probably aware of some what's going on. So, but you know, the goal is to be in the fifth all the time, just to maintain that level. And you know, that was one of the things that was shown to me over the last few days is when I go down to that dark place or I get where my vibration's low, music and my creativity is the way to get me back to where I'm, you know, getting the messages clearly, where the communication is where I want it to be. And then also, you know, some of you have to understand that, you know, your diet is going to be a part of this, getting you to the certain vibration that you know, are wanting. And this isn't just your food diet, it's your mental diet as well. Understanding that every time you scroll through Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is, Twitter, your subconscious is picking up every single thing that you see in that feed. Regardless if you're just, you know, going through, scrolling, your subconscious is digesting and it's growing that library of nonsense. And you're going to have much more inner turmoil trying to process some of these things than if you just avoid some of that, you know. Same thing with certain foods. You know, some of you are finding out that you're not processing, you know, meat maybe as well, or certain processed foods or cheeses, whatever it is. It's time to listen to your body. It's time to understand that this isn't working for me anymore. And some of you can eat whatever you want. You know, everybody's different. So don't think that just because your friend, you know, can't do this, that you have to do the same thing. Like, we're all the master of our own universe. So your body is going to be able to handle whatever you set it up to handle previous to this incarnation, if that makes sense. Whatever your subconscious beliefs are about what you can handle is what you're going to be able to handle. So if you're feeding it this constant variety of nonsense that's telling you that you're going to get cancer from this or you're going to get whatever from that, your subconscious, you know, eventually might start to believe that. So it's maintaining a healthy diet that is good for, you know, your body, and it's what's good for your mind as well. And, you know, those things translate to what's good for the soul also. So, you know, it's important that we really start focusing on ourselves in this way too, because, you know, everybody's always worried about service to others, which is great. And, you know, I'm not trying to take anything away from that. But my point here is, if you are doing things out of obligation, regardless if you think they're noble things, your light is dimmed, right? So you're not burning as brightly as you could be, and that does way more than we understand. And that's one thing they've tried to explain to me, you know, like through playing music and stuff. When I'm lighting up, and like they're showing me that does way more than me sitting here and, you know, I could be helping somebody else do something, but if my light is dimmed, then, you know, it's not doing the impact that we think it is necessarily. So if you can find your joy in helping others, then obviously you're, you know, doubling down on that situation right there. But, you know, it's about finding what makes us happy so that we can grow as brightly as we possibly can, because that's when other people, you know, it's like taking a candle into a dark room and you start going around and lighting under other candles. If you go in there with your candle not lit, you're just going to have a dark room. So have your candle burning bright. Go and light other people's candles. When people see your enthusiasm for what you do, your passion for what you do, and, excuse me, then they start to understand that it's not this unattainable goal at the top of this huge mountain. It's just something that's within everybody. And it's just a matter of how much time that you want to put towards it, and can you get out of your own way, you know, and just let it flow through you. You know, can you sit there and suspend your disbelief that you can't do something, or that you're not able to do something, or I've never done this, or I've never been a musician, or whatever it is. Suspend that disbelief and just go do it and see what happens. So I hope this helped somebody. If it did, you know, please like this, share it if you can. Like I've said before, I'm not interested in, you know, the likes or anything for my own personal gain. It's more about the algorithm and getting the message out to as many people as possible. So if this helped you, then please pass it along to somebody else that you think it may help, or give it a like and let the algorithm do its thing. All right, thanks everybody. I will see you soon. Love and light.